as sons of the spray, from lake to sky we roam. The winds they sharp on a northern night, but Scotland calls us home. We salt on beard and prayer in chest, we fear nae foreign flame. For the sea kent first the Stuart blood, and cries the name o' James. Hey! Heave-ho, rise tide rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves the rightful throne. Hey! Heave-ho, stand fast men all, till dawn breaks o'er the main. By cross and star and lion's roar, God save the King James. God save the King James. Fiona's bells stay Bothwell shore, the old songs still are sung, of kings who walked with barefoot faith when crowns were yet undone. Nae silken line or gilded chain can bind the truth we claim. The helm is held by rightful hand, the hand o' King James. Hey! Heave-ho, rise tide rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves their rightful throne. Hey! Heave-ho, stand fast men all, till dawn breaks o'er the main. By cross and star and lion's roar, God save the King James. God save the King James. The English guns may thunder loud, the courts may sneer and scoff, but law was born afore their ink when God first cast us off. The sea bears witness older still than parchment, seal or name. She bows to none but heaven's will and the oath of King James. Hee-ho, rise tide rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves their rightful throne. Hee-ho, stand fast men all, till dawn breaks o'er the main. By cross and star and lion's roar, God save the King James. God save the King James. So drink to those who dinna bend, who held the line when pressed, who chose the cross so sacrifice above a tyrant's rest. If I must sing, then let me sink with truth upon me flame, for Scotland lives while hearts still beat for Christ and King James. Hey! Hee-ho, rise tide rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves the rightful throne.
Yeah.
Hee-ho, lift voice and sail, let earth and heaven proclaim. By God within and
love
God
this.
above, God save the
King James. Come on.
God save the King James.
Love this music. Good old sea shanty.
God
Save the King James. Well, hello everyone. I'm live again. Do you like my new sea shanty? I've proper improved on the quality that I'm upgrading my broadcasting to. I think it's essential. I'm having a wee drink tonight. Might as well. I might not be a free man tomorrow, so I'm making the bloody most of it. Well, actually, to be fair, I think I know I'm going to be a free man anyway, but, you know, it's a bit crazy in the world today. I've been scrolling through things, and, well, has everybody heard about this lady that's been, well, she's been banned from entering the country, right? She's had a visa taken away. Kind of crazy, that. Mental, if you ask me. Country's on its arse. It's getting even worse. I don't think this country can survive a whole term of Keir Starmer and David Lammy and who's that other one that's managing the books? Oh, that's right, the Chancellor. Country's fucked, mate. At least nobody can say it was my family. Nobody can say it was me that did it. I'm innocent of this. Completely innocent. Maybe that's the problem. So apparently, in other news, in real life, apparently I'm supposed to have been harassing somebody on YouTube, right? So I've got to go in for one of those, how do you call it? A VI, a voluntary interview. It's going to be interesting. I mean, they didn't really say much. I think my mic might be a little bit loud, so let me turn that down a wee bit. There we go. Aye, so apparently, or allegedly, I've been harassing some twat on YouTube. No idea who, like. Couldn't think of who it possibly could be. I'm at a complete loss. Didn't think that was possible. Didn't think you could actually harass somebody on YouTube. It's YouTube. It doesn't exactly work like that. It's not like you can send them a private message and you be like, hey, you're a cunt. Apparently it goes back to like September, and I've been looking through my streams and looking through my videos, and I can't find anything from September. So I'm at a complete loss. I haven't the foggiest idea who it's about or what it's about. Lord help me, because I think I'm going to need it. Big up, Triller. How you doing, Triller, son? Welcome to the first viewer. Hi. I missed Ghost before. I've been scrolling through it, and I seen that big bald fucking moon-looking motherfucker. Looks like a giant Teletubby in the sky. Morris, seen him on there. Thank God I wasn't on there. Thank the Lord I was busy. Wouldn't want to bump into that ugly bastard. I'd be offended. My eyesight. Horrible. Now, obviously, remember, read the disclaimer. I'm always fact check everything. I'm on Southern Comfort tonight, so I might get a bit hammered, guys. But I might review it because it's like 3 hours. But it's like with this geezer DP Audits was on the panel. Amy Taffy, Wendy and Baldy Lux, and I don't know who else. Well, that's now new then. Their future, you're always fucking wasted, pal. I mean, I don't drink that much. But I'm kind of like drinking pint pots of Southern Comfort and Dandelion and Burdock. And I don't do no half measure, especially when I'm having a wee drink. I'm having triples or quads. None of that fucking single or double wimps. If only you could get a quad shot in a bar. That's a proper drink, eh? It tastes good. Yes, Pitford Smoker. How you doing? There's that treasonous talk I see in that side chat there, Triller. I mean, you can try. By all means, you can try. I don't know if you succeed, though. Many people have tried. Many have failed. Nah, I'm only joking. No, but seriously, you could try. These fucking vapes are horrible, man. Vegetable glycerin. Who'd have thought that? That would be something we'd be putting in our fucking lungs, right? Have I served anyone yet? What do you mean, surveyed? Like examined, surveyed, looked at? No. I don't even know why I started a fucking live, so I'm too tired for this shit already. And I've got to be at the police station tomorrow for 2:30. This is going to be interesting. Oh, right, like legally. Well, I can't say. I have to keep that information private and confidential, right? Instead of talking about it, because I have a habit of that. Sometimes I talk too much and get myself into trouble. Apparently, allegedly. Apparently, we live in the country where there's no such fucking thing as freedom of speech or freedom of expression, and you can't say what the fuck you want without offending somebody or something. Welcome to Britain. A country that's being run by a guy that was the head of the CPS while Jimmy Savile was buggering kids, and I might get arrested for that. Better be careful. And lied to Donald Trump's face. Fucking, hey mate, fucking, we got a great government of clones at the moment. And then we got a chancellor that lied on her CVs. I mean, yeah, the country's money is in great hands. How we investigating X? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have a problem with Twitter, aka X. I think we've found out a lot more information through Twitter, aka X. I don't know why I fucking renamed it. Should have just kept it as Twitter. Imagine buying Twitter just to rename it. It's a bit stupid, that, but I can see why, because of the user base. I think that's good luck with that one. I mean, let's face it, Ofcom doesn't have the jurisdiction to investigate any American company because they're American. They have this thing called the United States Constitution. The first article, I believe, it guarantees the freedom of speech for every man and woman. We definitely don't have that here. I wouldn't advise asking ChatGPT for legal advice. Good disclaimer there, Triller. Quite a few lawyers have tried to use ChatGPT, and well, let's just say it didn't end well for them. Oh crap! I need my jacket. It's getting a bit cold. Not my jacket, my jumper. Today I've been working on an MacBook Pro that was donated. I've been struggling with it. I've got to repair some of the chips on it. It's a lot more difficult than I actually thought. But I think I'm going to have a review on this. Where is it? There we go. Headphones. There they are. Right, so there was something I seen that was uploaded by Working Class Patriot, and ironically, is live right now. How the fuck is he got 160,000 subscribers and I can't even get 1,000? I might have to do a Chrissy Morris and start buying subscribers. Wait, what's this? Keir Starmer has announced 27 local elections are cancelled. This means a record 4 million British citizens will not be able to vote this May when they should have. Well, that's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. Let me have a look at this. That's actually just took my interest. Because he knows he's going to lose. Holy shit, an hour ago. So let me get this article up from the Telegraph. Have a look at this. 4 million are denied a vote in an attack on democracy. I told you this is an all-out fucking war. This is a bloody political war. Like what? Oh, fuck off! I'm not paying for it. What do you mean? To read this article for free? Oh, motherfuckers! All right, I guess I'm not reading that one then. That's ridiculous. You only get the fucking start of it. What about this one? Can I read this one? Why do I have to fucking sign in? This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to sign in to read the fucking newspaper. For details on how Telegraph Media Group Holdings will use your data. Oh, motherfuckers. To read this article. Motherfuckers, I do not want to create an account. That's forcing people to do something they don't want to do. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. Mm-mm. Right. Right, okay. So, I should be able to read it now. Right, so, here we go. 4 million people are to be denied the vote in May's local elections by Labour. Hang on a minute. Wait. Wasn't Labour spending the last 12, 13, 14 fucking years begging the Tories to call a general election? And now they want to cancel the elections. Sounds to me like they're up to something. Sounds to me like Labour are trying to screw the country over any way possible. If it's not through the budget, it's through the politics. If it's not through the politics, it's through the judicial system by attacking trial by jury. Oh, believe me, don't you fucking worry. I'm not fucking letting that one go. That's against the bloody law to do that, right? That's my opinion. That's actually, no, it's a fucking fact. It's a peace treaty condition, right? If they take away trial by jury, right, or abridge it, or try and reduce it in any way possible, then the British people have the right to fucking stand up for justice, which means, well, it's a complicated scenario, but it started in 2001 when the House of Lords served a petition on Her Majesty. And that was Lord Ashbourne. Good fellow. That's who I swore my allegiance to during those days. So the government is expected to cancel at least 27 council elections, meaning hundreds of councillors will avoid the risk of being voted out. So it's just to protect them from being voted out because they know they're going to get voted out. It's as simple as that. The Tories, figures, and Reform UK accused no, he's not a fucking sir in my book. Accused Mr. Starmer of running scared of the electorate at a time when polls show a collapse in support for Labour. Nigel Farage's party will on Thursday launch a judicial review in an attempt to make the elections go ahead. Yeah, I think that's quite right. I think judicial review is the correct avenue to challenge the Labour government's decision, because to attempt to cancel elections is to breach the rule of democracy in itself. And I think that's, well, if there's no democracy, then there's no consent of the governed. And if the governed can't consent, well, I guess that brings us back to the old days of the Magna Carta in 1215, where the House of Lords raised an army and went up against the king. Back then, King John, right? It kind of undermines the whole point of what happened in 1215 to make sure there's a check and balance, because that's how it started, 1215. Ooh, let's go some money. Nice. Yeah, that's how it started in 1215. So this government doesn't really fucking know what it's fucking doing, really. Let's be honest. They would probably chop off their own heads and sell it to you on a silver plate and tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread, if they could. That's just my theory. That's just my view on that. Bit radical. Apparently we can't have these views. If we think Starmer's a wanker, apparently that's a crime. Welcome to fucking Britain. Look at him. Look at that. He's definitely been fixed by Jimmy, I tell you. 100%. So the Telegraph on Thursday launches a campaign for democracy, calling the rules to be scrapped, forcing ministers to seek a full vote in Parliament for any delay to votes. Opposition leaders backed our campaign for a change in the law to prevent ministers from being able to cancel local elections at the stroke of a pen. Leading constitutional experts also backed calls for a law change, saying there was a clear conflict of interest in giving politicians the power to decide whether voters should have a chance to vote them out. Interesting. More than 20 councils have confirmed delays, 3/4 of which are Labour run. So what's the other quarter? Are they Tories? Interesting. 7 more Labour councils are expected to join them, leaving a total of 3.7 million people disenfranchised. That's the wrong fucking word. Who the fuck is writing these articles? You literally need the King's English to understand these fucking things. Some councils will cancel elections for the second year running, meaning councillors will stay in office for 7 years without having to be re-elected. That's a dictatorship. That is not democracy. If there's no such thing as fucking democracy in Britain, then we are being run by a totalitarian, unelected, despotic, tyrannous regime, which requires the likes of, well, yours truly, to say something about it, right? Because, let's face it, nobody else has got the balls to fucking say it to government, right? and risk their freedom. I mean, let's face it, who out there is going to have the bollocks to fucking stand up like this and say, right, fuck you, government, fuck you, Starmer, while they're drinking a pint, right? Who in the country has got the bollocks to say that? You know, why do you think, let's put it in perspective, right? Why do you think they surround themselves with bars and gates and security? Because they know exactly what they're doing to the British country. This isn't Britain anymore. You can't even call it fucking Stalin's home. More like it. Fuck you know. I think we'd be better off in communist Russia at this point. Am I wrong? Seriously, am I wrong reading this article? Because fuck you know. At least the commies actually told you first what was happening. You know, these cunts are more sneaky. No, do it under the radar, and then when it's about to be done, then tell them, so they can't do nothing about it. And you know what? This is my point. This is why we need a formal constitution, because we have no fucking formal constitution in this country like the United States that clearly sets out the rights and rules and responsibilities that the government has and the crown. Let me put that out there. Yeah, there ain't nothing that exists to protect the people. There isn't. You might think there is, but really there isn't. Anything you do, anything you can do, you are only given the permission to do it. And that permission can be revoked at any time. Any goddamn time. When they see fit. This would not be happening. You see, this would not be happening if they didn't do what they did back in the 1700s. This started in the 1700s. This has been carrying on for 350 something years. Maybe 360 if I'm being precise. And they're pricks, a lot of them. I don't even want to read the rest of that. I can't be arsed reading the rest of that because I know it's just fucking depressing. It really is. This country is fucking so fucked. So fucked. And if you think reform is going to be any different, they're just rebranded Tories. And that's the truth on that, you know? They are really rebranding the Tory party and some Labours as reform. But it's still the same old stock. They don't like new blood. They don't want new up-and-coming people coming into Parliament. Yet Parliament was meant to be there for the poor, for the common man. And you truly have to understand how things really work in them places. Think about it. They bloody killed kings in the 1700s just so they could do what they're doing today. Because back then, they wouldn't have got away with it. But now, they have the complete reign to do whatever they wish. And I think people truly need to understand that. And when people are so busy arguing and fighting over little things, there cannot be a consensus, there cannot be an agreement. And that's what they want. They want everybody to be arguing with each other about pointless politics. Because it is pointless. Because it doesn't change it. It doesn't make it any different, regardless of what happens. And this was not the way Britain was meant to be created, was meant to be. Britain was meant to be the nation that helped others, that looked after its own, that protected its borders, that protected its people, that made sure those who didn't have, did have, and those that had too much gave back. That was the way it was meant to have run and been running. But what we have is a complete inverse of it. It's like a perversion of the way things was meant to be. And our ancestors, they would be disgraced. They are disgraced, in my view. Everything our ancestors fought for on the battlefields, what they died for, means nothing. Absolutely nothing if they can do what they're doing today. You have to understand, so many people lost so many family members during the wars. Not just the First and Second Wars, World Wars, but the wars before that. The wars that we had on British soil. Our own people fighting amongst themselves. Because that's what they wanted. Because it could justify their action. To sequester people, to control people, to impose regimes, to turn this country into a walking prison, because that's what Britain is. It is a walking prison. There's less security in a prison than there is outside of a prison. I should know. I've been inside one. And it is really, really deafening when you think about it. When you listen, when you just stop and you listen and you observe. Because us as a nation, as a people, we're meant to be able to observe the laws, right? But if we're to observe them, then we're to protect them. Even from those who are meddling in them, right? Not every law passed is good for the nation, nor is it good for the people. In fact, you could say that some of the laws that have been passed in this country are purely financial, purely to take money off the public, to fund lifestyles. Excuse me. I've got a chest infection, so I do apologize. It's just crazy with the way things are going in this country. I mean, look at the military, right? Our military. They have been slowly had their numbers reduced over the years, right? And let me throw it out there. If any nation was to invade Britain, right? They may boast about a naval fleet, a Trident submarine, but most of that will be ineffective because they're all about controlling the British people instead, for some strange reason. They don't want us thinking freely. They don't want us discoursing freely. They don't even want you driving around freely. They don't even want you working freely. Welcome to Germany 2.0. I had grandfathers that died in the First and Second World War in the Navy. I think they'd be pretty pissed to see what's happened to this country. Imagine the old kings, though. The old ones, right? How would they feel seeing what they had written into law? How would they react to things? It's crazy. But, you know, the only way people can make a collective change is to agree on something. Something simple, right? Because let me put it into perspective. It wasn't a whole nation that made the United States. In fact, it wasn't anything more than 20 people who created the foundation of the United States, the core precipice of the United States and the founding of it by George Washington was the founding fathers, the 4 founding fathers who wrote and drafted the Constitution of the United States of America. 4 men. 4 bright, intelligent, and caring people who wanted to make a better life, not just for themselves, but for everyone else who stood under that foundational document. Quite similar to the Magna Carta, right? The Bill of Rights, Charter of the Forest, the Treaty of Northampton, various documents that passed under the seal of the king made them treaties that we have to protect. And I think the only way to protect this country and to protect the people is to write the Constitution of the United Kingdom. And to bring Britain into a state of equilibrium where not just the monarchy and the government is bound to the people, but they are bound by a constitution. And if they violate the constitution, and they had to be held to account rightfully. That is why Britain in the 1500s or something, the Tea Party, yeah. That's what, no, 1776, that's it, 1776. The Battle of Independence. And guess what? Britain still lost. Because they thought, well, the English crown at that time thought they could control the world. Kind of like how our own government, which, let's be honest, it's not our government. It's not my government. It's not your government. And it's not even Charles's government, let's be honest, because he's their puppet. So, if it's not our government, the people, and it's not your government, the people, well, when I say our government, I mean, the Stuart government. It's not a Stuart government, because the Stuart government wouldn't even do any of this shit to the people, for a start, right? And it's not the British public government, yet they still have to pay for it. And it's not Charles's government because he's their puppet. Imagine that. Yeah, that's fucked up. What a glorious life it is for a puppet. Eh? So if it's not our government, it's not your government, it's not his government, right? But they proclaim it as, even though it's not. Right. Then whose government is it really? Oh, that's right. It's the parties. It's the parties. It's the political parties that are created. And the government operates to what they decide. Not you, not me, not the postman, not the milkman, not the lorry drivers or the farmers. But it's a select few. And I think this country has to change. 100%. And we as people have to change with it. We have to be prepared emotionally, psychologically. And we also have to understand that we need a little bit more humanity. And you will not find humanity in the House of Parliament. In fact, they don't even want God in the House of Parliament. That should tell you everything. Let's face it, they kicked out God in the 60s. And you've had the worst of the worst running this country. Criminals dressed up in titles and robes and all kinds of fucking dilly-dallying and mollycoddling and absolute bollocks. Yeah. That's my view. We need a bloody constitution. A proper one. That covers everything, especially your human rights and your freedom to speak. Speech should be the most important thing that is protected by law. You don't have the unequivocal right to speak freely in Britain about whatever you want. Because if you speak in a certain way over the airwaves, like I am doing now, if you say something too opposed to them, then you're breaking their laws, not anybody else's. So I guess it falls back to autonomy of the individual. autonomy of a nation, autonomy of a people, a free thinking, freely democratic nation. We don't have that in Britain. And anybody who says we do are deluded. Very fucking deluded. The legends say, in Britain's hour of need, in their darkest hour, a king rises up from within the people themselves, not to wage wars, but to speak, to tell you things plainly, to explain things, so you can understand and see and learn and open your eyes and ears to actually what is bloody going on. You see, what they don't want you to understand is, as a nation, as one nation, one people, you are one voice. And a one nation, a one people, with one voice, all together in unison, is the greatest power that any government can neither comprehend nor defeat, providing it is peaceful, a peaceful nation of prosperity. That's what Britain should be. Not bloody building warships and helping other people bloody wage wars and invading other countries that we had no bloody business being in. You know? I remember those wars. I had friends in them. Friends I'd never see again. And I've seen people when they've come back from them, different, changed, never the same. And that's the true cost of a system that doesn't work. Because the system is broken, and they've broken it on purpose so they can continually keep themselves in power, because they can proclaim, oh, this needs fixing, that needs fixing. We can do this, but we need another 5 years of you paying us to sit on our asses and actually do nothing, but we'll still need it. That's why the country's in the fucking shit state it's in. They've attacked every industry to the point of where it's collapsed, where we're dependent on other nations for basic materials that we should be able to grow ourselves, where they would rather criminalize the ordinary man for his thoughts, for his feelings, for what he believes. These are the deep thoughts that nobody really has the bollocks to say, because they're afraid. They're afraid of being disliked. They're afraid of, what's the word? Being called mad. Wasn't Einstein mad? Tesla? Mr. Enigma? All these people, great innovators, inventors, they were called mad. But yet they changed the world. Sometimes, every now and again, you might need a little bit of madness. I don't think it's an illness. It's a personality quirk. Let's face it. If they're going to start cancelling elections, I mean, what else are they going to cancel? Are they going to start cancelling school dinners? Oh, wait, yeah, they already did that. They're going to start cancelling your GCSEs, your proms. What about they're going to do for the young people? I mean, let's face it, they already ripped apart every essential thing that a young person needs in their life. They don't even give them a proper education. Political theory is never on the curriculum, which it should be. You know, they should be teaching politics in schools. For example, you know, critical thought, that should be on the curriculum. No, they have mediocre subjects, to say the least. They don't teach them anything about taxation. They don't teach them anything about proper finances. No, they just teach them how to be docile and in a state of constant compliance. So we need the government to do this for us because we can't do it ourselves, because we don't know how to, because we've been conditioned to not be able to do anything for ourselves. Yes, welcome to Britain, the super nanny state. The only place in the world where you can't do it, the government will make you do it. This is not freedom. This is not what our ancestors fought for. This is not the country my ancestors died on the battlefield for. And it's disgusting. It is an abomination. And quite frankly, I want off this ride. Like, I genuinely hope I don't get to see 60 or 70. I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't handle it. No. Seeing the decline of the nation. No. I'd rather be like my ancestors, actually. Fucking, at least they went out in style. They had something to be proud of, to, you know, whether or not they went down with sinking ships or on the battlefields, or, you know, they died for something. They died for something they believed in. You know, that was right, that was just, that was true, and what we have today is nothing of that. Parliament is nothing more than a joke, an insult, an offence to the common man. That's what I believe. Is it a crime to have those beliefs? No, it is balls. It is absolutely right to believe those things because it's true. Country is fucked. Fucking fucked. And it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. I mean, if you can be sent to prison for a Facebook message or a tweet, you know, or a fucking YouTube comment, or, you know, there's no freedom. There's no freedom to say what the fuck you want. There isn't. You know? You can't say this. Why? Because we said so, and we're the government. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Yeah, I do apologise. I'm having a rant. I'm in my moment. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You know? But these are my political thoughts, and I just think this country can be better, so much better, and the people deserve better. The people deserve a nation that's actually there for them. You know, Anyway, I'm going to get myself to bed. I've got an appointment tomorrow I need to attend. Yeah, great. Sucks to be me. At least some of us, even though we get into trouble, still fighting for the rights of others. Believe it or not. Because sometimes, you have to cross a few boundaries to protect things. And I think sometimes you have to be able to take a risk to stand up for something. And I think on a somber note, to finish off, Starmer's a wanker. That's my ending thought. I'd definitely do a better job running this fucking country. And when I get back where my family should be, in the rightful place, running this country, things will be better. They'll be different, but they'll be better. You definitely won't be paying £1 fucking 50 for fucking 2 litres of milk, I tell you that. And you definitely won't have to fucking pay like fucking £6 a fucking drink to go to the pub, man. No, we're going to bring back all the industries, the coal, the steel. We'll bring it all fucking back. Oh, and we'll take everything off the rich bastards if they've got a problem with it. Simple. Anybody else has a problem with it, we'll just turf them out. Simple. Just, some good old-fashioned kingship. That's what we need. There is nothing in the world that cannot be changed by a few good men. I've always believed that. And it is clearly true. Because we do not have good men in Parliament. Because none have got the balls to do what's right. They just do what's convenient. And I think the time for convenient politics is over. No politician should be living a cushy life on the backs of every working class man and woman. They shouldn't. It's not right. It's an insult. It's a fucking insult. And on that note, I'm the real King James. If you liked it, leave a like. If you've got a question, leave a comment. If you think Starmer's a wanker, put it in the comments. I'll give it a thumbs up. But I'm off. I got some sleep to catch up on. Good night, folks.
Oh, haul away, ye sons of the spray, from lake to sky we roam. The winds lie sharp on a northern night, but Scotland calls us home. We salt on beard and prayer in chest, we fear nae foreign flame. For the sea kent first the Stuart blood, and cries the name o' James. Hey! Heave-ho, rise tide rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves the rightful throne. Hey! Heave-ho, stand fast men all, till dawn breaks o'er the main. by cross and star and lion's roar. God save the King James. God save the King James. Fiona's bells stay both well sure, the old songs still are sung, of kings who walked with barefoot faith when crowns were yet undone. Nay silken line or gilded chain can bind the truth we claim. The helm is held by rightful hand, O King James. Hey! Hee-ho, rise, tide, rise, let thunder split the foam. The crown was forged in storm and oath, the waves their rightful throne. Hey! Hee-ho, stand fast, men all, till dawn breaks o'er the main. By cross and star and lion's roar, God save the King James. God save the King James.